I'm just enjoying this beautiful weather at the park. Oh, what a gorgeous day. Oh, hey, Mia. Didn't expect to run into you here. Did you decide to take up skateboarding yourself? Wait, can you even use a skateboard? Oh, I see. You thought that dressing like a skateboarder might help you connect with your audience and give them a reason to trust your argument. I'm guessing it didn't work out like you hoped. Oh, the skaters were a little skeptical of your sudden enthusiasm and the fact that you don't actually know how to skateboard. Well, it's a bummer that your plan didn't work, but guess what? There are tools you can use to connect with your audience just by harnessing the power of words. And the best part is that we're going to learn about them today. But before we get started, let's take a moment to pause and reflect. In your PDF, answer the following question. When you're trying to convince someone of something, do you tend to use emotion, logic, or your own credibility? Why? Pause the video now and resume when you're ready to move on. Are you ready to learn about some of the most essential tools of persuasive writing? Let's get this lesson rolling. Today we'll be exploring a key component of persuasion, rhetorical appeals. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to define each of the 3 rhetorical appeals, identify their characteristics, and explain how each appeal impacts an argument. Be sure you have your PDF out and ready to take notes on this essential topic. Ah yes, the world of rhetorical appeals. Hey, does that sound familiar to you at all? Maybe the word rhetoric rings a bell. Way back in Unit 3, we defined rhetoric as the art of using language, whether spoken or written, to persuade or influence people. Now we have that other word, appeals. An appeal can be defined as an earnest attempt to prompt someone to think or act in a particular way. With that in mind, we can define rhetorical appeals as persuasive strategies that authors and speakers use to build their credibility or connect with their audience through logic or emotion. In more simple terms, rhetorical appeals are specific strategies for appealing to an audience through the skillful use of language. There are 3 rhetorical appeals, often referred to by the Greek words logos, pathos, and ethos. Why Greek? Well, these strategies go way back and are attributed to the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, who lived over 2,000 years ago. That's enough about the history of rhetorical appeals. What we really need to understand is what these terms mean. Let's break them down. First up, we have logos, which is an appeal to logic. Then we have pathos, which is an appeal to emotion. Finally, we have ethos, which is an appeal to credibility. These terms may still seem like Greek to you, but I guarantee that you've encountered all of these techniques before. In fact, these strategies are all used in everyday advertisements. Now, let's break down each appeal further and take a look at some real-life examples. Let's start with an appeal that we've actually been looking at all along. Logos. Appealing to your audience's sense of logic and reasoning is characterized by the use of hard evidence, such as indisputable facts, historical examples, and numerical data, like statistics. You'll also notice clear logical connections between ideas, showing cause and effect or how one thing leads to another. Lastly, arguments that rely heavily on this appeal usually maintain a formal and objective tone. But what does appealing to logic accomplish? How does it impact your argument? Well, by using solid evidence and reasoning, you are making your argument more credible and trustworthy. The use of indisputable facts and hard data helps convince people who want proof of your argument's validity. It also makes it a lot harder for others to argue against your point. Now, let's consider an example. Think about those car commercials you've probably seen on TV. You might hear something like, "The all-new Solera SUV, leading its class with up to 50 miles per gallon on the highway." By showcasing exact fuel efficiency numbers, they're leveraging the appeal to logic to convince potential buyers of the car's value. Now, let's take a moment to pause and reflect before we move on to our next appeal. In your PDF, answer the following question. Recall an ad or nonfiction text that used logic as persuasion. How did its logical elements make it convincing? Pause the video now and resume when you're ready to continue the lesson. All right, let's head on over to our next rhetorical appeal, Pathos. Known as Pathos, this strategy revolves around unlocking the audience's feelings. To spot this appeal in action, watch out for emotive language and powerful word choice intended to make the audience feel specific emotions. You might also spot personal stories or examples that tug at the heartstrings, as well as vivid imagery and descriptive language to paint a picture for the audience. The power of this appeal lies in its ability to move the audience, making them feel something deeply. It's essential because emotions, both positive and negative, drive people to act. Pathos also helps the audience connect with the speaker and message on a personal level. The use of imagery, descriptive language, and personal anecdotes all make the argument more memorable and relatable. Now, let's take a look at another real-world example. Maybe you've seen an advertisement for an animal welfare organization showing sad, abandoned pets with soft, melancholy music playing in the background. Perhaps the ad features a plea for viewers to donate money, volunteer at a local shelter, or adopt an animal in need. By tugging at the audience's heartstrings, that call to action becomes especially powerful. Those ads always get to me no matter how many times I've seen them. Let's take a moment to pause and reflect before we tackle our last appeal. In your PDF, answer the following question. Think of an ad or nonfiction text that impacted your emotions. How did its use of emotional appeal contribute to its persuasiveness? Pause the video now and resume when you're ready to move on. Finally, let's discuss our last rhetorical appeal, Ethos. Lastly, we have the appeal to credibility. Often referred to as ethos, this appeal leans on the trustworthiness or expertise of the speaker or writer. Ethos is different from the other appeals because it focuses on the author over the message. Characteristics of this appeal include establishing the credentials or expertise of the speaker, referencing credible sources as evidence, and demonstrating shared values with the audience. Establishing credibility is key because people are less likely to be convinced of an argument if they are skeptical about the trustworthiness of the author. Appealing to credibility increases the audience's trust in the speaker or author, making the argument seem more reliable. Additionally, this appeal can help strengthen the connection between the audience and the author through shared values, experiences, or beliefs. You actually come across appeals to credibility all the time in advertising. Let's consider an example. Have you ever seen a commercial for a product that claims to cure acne and make your skin glow? Maybe it featured a testimonial from a teen who's used the product to gain your trust, and then a doctor comes on the screen saying, "The product is dermatologist approved," lending even more credibility to the ad's claims. It's worth noting that a person's fame, title, or social status can give them credibility even if they lack formal expertise. Think about all the times you've seen celebrities or influencers featured in an advertisement. Now let's take a moment to pause and reflect on ethos. In your PDF, answer the following question. Reflect on a time when you were persuaded by someone's credibility, expertise, or fame. Pause the video now and resume when you're ready to move on. Wow, that was a lot of new information. There is one more thing I need to mention before we wrap things up, though. The rhetorical appeals rely on each other to build a strong argument. An argument with just logic and no emotion will struggle to connect with the audience, whereas one with emotion and credibility will struggle to stand without logic to support its claim. That's why it's so important to consider all three appeals when writing or analyzing a persuasive text. Oh, hey there, Mia. Did today's lesson help you come up with new ways to connect with your audience? Yay! I am so glad. Good luck revising your persuasive text. Well, that's it for today's lesson. Don't forget to complete the Reflect on Your Learning question in your PDF. Farewell, literary adventurers. Read, write, and inspire. Hey!